The North Shore Center for the Performing Arts in Skokie is celebrating their 30th anniversary, and they want you to pull up for one of the fun performances coming up, including Michael Carbonaro with some magic on July 18th, comedian Maj Jabrani on July 19th, Grammy-nominated trumpeter Chris Botti on July 26th, Ghostbusters in concert October 7th and 8th, and the one and only legend comedian Maria Bamford October 24th. They got free parking and access from the CTA, so go on and get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Today on CityCast Chicago, Mayor Johnson goes to the Vatican. Schlitz brews its final kegs, and old Chicago and Midwest brands were still mourning. It's Thursday, May 28th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago is talking about. Thank y'all for making time for CityCast Chicago, for being with us, whether this is your first episode or you've been rocking with us for the last few years. We appreciate you turning on another episode, even if it's automatic and like your Alexa turns it on every day for you at like 1 o'clock, whether you home or not. We appreciate the numbers. We got two amazing voices in the building with us today. Jill Hopkins is back with us. Jill, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Jacoby. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. We've also got Adora Namigade in the building. Adora, it's good to see you.
It's great to see you too. Thank you.
Y'all, these is the last days of May. I've been asking people coming on, what's the best thing you did for yourself this month as we are quickly gliding towards halfway through 2026?
I upgraded my matcha setup, my at-home matcha setup.
Oh, what does that look like? Tell me, please.
Yeah, because basically I had a electric milk frother that was putting all the bubbles on top and putting all the milk on the bottom. It wasn't really blending the two, which is the whole point of me having a frother, right? And so I said, you know what? Sunken cost fallacy. This is not doing anything for me. Let's get a new one. I ended up finding one that was cheaper and a lot smoother.
What's the rest of your setup look like? Like, do you got the brush?
I'm a fancy girl. I have matcha from Japan, straight from Japan. Okay.
Come on.
I have my little wooden bamboo whisk. I have a bowl that a friend got me from Japan as well. So what you do basically, I don't do it fully traditional, but I warm up the bowl and then I put in water at 165 degrees in the bowl, add the matcha, blend that. Then I go to my little milk frother, blend the milk. Then I pour the matcha that I mixed into that milk frother, blend those two together. And that's my cup.
Come on. I feel like that should have been for the neighbors only. That felt like such a in-depth process. We should have paywalled that.
You should have. The fact that you asked me to give it away for free is an abomination, but it's okay.
But we appreciate. Thank you so much, and I'm glad you upgraded the setup. Jill, what did you do for yourself in May?
You know, my birthday's in May. Shout out to all my May babies out here. It was Taurus season, and we did it. We had a ball. I went to the exotic location of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hills. They have hills.
I took my husband and I went to go see a band I really like for my birthday because we were going to miss them in Chicago. We were going to see some friends get married. And so sometimes you got to drive to see some art and hear some music and to experience love.
This week, the mayor and a small contingent of Chicagoans, and by small, I mean, I think it's like a entourage of like 50 folks went with him across business sector. Some alder people went with him, some local organizers, and they headed to the Vatican to meet the Pope. Adora, this is a big story because this is the first time the mayor is getting to meet, of course, the Pope that we all know has Chicago roots, Pope Leo XIV.
Yeah, this is a huge deal. The World Business Chicago and Economic Development Group is paying for this trip. So the mayor and his entourage are going to be there through Saturday morning. And he'll be meeting with the Pope this afternoon.
What does a trip to Rome look like? I know they're going to be there for a few days. The Pope visit is a small part of that. What are they going to be doing while they're over there?
Yeah, there's a little itinerary going on. So when they arrived yesterday, they toured the town with members of Rome City Council. Then today, Mayor Johnson is actually meeting with the Pope. He's going to present the Pope with a jar of Jardinera. He's going to have a press conference at American University. He's going to have a fireside chat. He's going to have a dinner. So the itinerary is full. But a lot of it is just him meeting with the Pope, meeting with people in Rome to learn more about that city, and also to have a chance to thank the Pope for some advocacy that he's done so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are some of the ways that the mayor is hoping to honestly gas the Pope up and thank him? Because there are a few things they have been on the same page about recently.
Yes, he wants to let him know that he is grateful for his stance on Gaza. He wants to let him know he is grateful for the Pope's stance on Trump's treatment of immigration in the United States, especially the way he ramped things up with sending members of the U.S. military to different cities, right? He also wants to thank the Pope for speaking out against the war in Iran.
This also comes at a time when I imagine they're going to talk about the Pope's recent writings about AI. There's a lot of discussion going on in Chicago and across Illinois about the growth of data centers. Who gonna pay the bill? Is this good for communities? Where's all this water coming from? When is this bubble gonna pop? Well, what did the Pope have to say about all of this? Because I can't remember the last time a Pope commented on something as specific as the future of artificial intelligence.
No, that's true. This is the first encyclical, it's called, on artificial intelligence. An encyclical is a teaching document that the Pope writes on a particular issue happening in society or on a matter of faith. So the Pope really wanted to address AI because it's the fastest growing tech that we have in the world right now. And it is what is driving a lot of people's economic growth. He opened the document talking about the importance of human dignity and saying that every person is made in the image of God. Every person deserves to have a good relationship with God, with other people, and with themselves. And so he's saying, if the way we develop AI does not support human dignity, then we are failing. But if the way that we develop AI helps the human race flourish as a whole, then that can be good. But that's something that we have to choose to do before we develop the tech. He's saying right now, we're kind of just developing the tech and then seeing what happens. And there's not really accountability, especially when things go wrong, right? Unfortunately, like the most extreme cases, you've heard that sometimes AI agents have told people to end their own lives, right? Mm-hmm. Who is responsible for that? Because people kind of shirk away from those kind of bad results because they're saying, well, the tech did it, right? But we also developed the tech. So he's arguing in the encyclical, hey, I'm not someone who is an expert on AI itself. I'm not responsible for the direct development of the technology. However, I am responsible as a spiritual leader to kind of let y'all know that you should be considering certain moral principles as you develop this technology. It's already here. It's already a part of many people's daily lives. But if we don't develop a sort of ethic around it, then it runs the risk, and it already is, exacerbating inequalities. It also runs the risk of creating a situation where just a few powerful companies kind of dictate who is able to access data, who is able to access information, and therefore grow their economies. And it's a tool that you can also use to discriminate against people. He's also talking about in the encyclical how the environment is at risk and people really deserve to have a say in how this tech is being developed around them because it is directly impacting them.
Yeah. This, as you mentioned, is the first encyclical written by Pope Leo XIV. And I wanted to see which Pope held the record for the most ever. And fun fact, Pope Leo XIII, who wrote, I believe, 85 or 86 during his 25 year run from 1878 to 1903.
Okay, that's fascinating. And it's cool you mentioned him too, because Pope Leo XIV, current Pope, named himself after that Pope. And this encyclical came out on the 135th anniversary of Pope Leo XIII's encyclical addressing the Industrial Revolution and saying, hey, if we don't get this stuff together, y'all want to grow this industrial technology, but you need to consider, how is this impacting people? How is this impacting individuals and families and communities? That is also important, not just making money.
We're in a sort of industrial revolution right now, and with less, visible pollution, like there's not smokestacks belching out tar and coal into the sky. But when I found out how many of these data centers already exist in Chicago, I was dumbstruck.
They're already amongst us.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of pollution, sadly, actually, right? Like the data centers tend to be concentrated in poorer areas of cities, of course, classic, right? And a lot of these are concentrated on the south side of our city and in the south suburbs, and there's plans to open even more. Right now, they use a ton of water, drinking water specifically, and they use diesel as backup generators. So sometimes the people in the communities are not getting the opportunity to say, okay, we support you using our natural resources for these ends.
Yeah.
There's got to be a more efficient way to do this.
We've definitely got some episodes and some newsletter articles that people should check out. And we've recently covered legislation in the city, across the state, and just some sort of these collar counties where people have voted for data centers, knowing some of these risks and the cons that they pose, but say, hey, our towns and our villages need it. I was at a press conference I mentioned last week that the mayor was at. And when he opened it up for Q&A, one of these like gotcha journalists, like basically was like, hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. And, there's a lot going on in Chicago. Why are you going to the Vatican right now? It's one of these gotcha questions. But this feels like one of those just like sort of ceremonial heads of state type visits. Do you find these something to be critical of? Do you care when they come up? Do you pay attention? Or are you just like, oh yeah, the mayor's going to see the Pope? That makes sense.
I mean, that's the price of doing business, right? You're the ambassador for Chicago as its mayor. You are going to have to visit some sister cities. You're going to have to go to, other cities, make little bets with them about the playoffs. You could be legislating then, but you're doing this stuff.
Go testify in front of Congress.
Yeah, you're going to have to leave City Hall. You're going to have to leave chambers of City Council. And when are we going to get another Chicago Pope? Like, this is
right.
It's insane. It's once
in a
lifetime.
The answer is never.
Personally, okay.
I've not been an active Catholic in a very long time, but when this news dropped, everybody was just like, okay, come through, Pope. And people keep playing in his face and bring him little Cubs trinkets, knowing full well that man is a Southside Sox fan. So I hope the mayor comes correct in that regard.
Hey, he must have did something because post Crosstown Classic, them Cubs ain't been doing right. So maybe they do need a hat blessed or something. Because
I saw something today that said the Cubs haven't won since the man who founded and owned the Billy Goat Tavern passed away.
Yes, I saw that too.
The curse is back.
Oh, so yeah, they might need a little blessing right now.
They might need.
I know my face is kind of like it's enjoying the news that I'm sharing with the people, but I'm not enjoying nobody suffering. First to last in like a couple weeks. Oh no.
No, you hate to see it.
No.
You do hate to see it. It's supposed to be joyous in the city in the summertime.
What's up, Chicago? We got something big coming up that you do not want to miss out on. We are doing a live taping of the podcast. Yes, a live taping for the first time in 4 years. And we're doing it at the brand new Switchyard Chicago in Logan. And if you haven't heard yet, Switchyards is like a co-working space, what they call a neighborhood work club. Place to kick it, get stuff done, connect with your neighbors. And here's the deal. Members of CityCast Chicago get first dibs to attend our live show, and they get a chance to check out the space before it even opens. It's all going down next Thursday, June 4th. Plus, one lucky neighbor will walk away with a free membership to Switchyards. So, to guarantee your spot right now, become a CityCast Chicago neighbor for $10 a month, and you'll get access to this exclusive event and many more. Join now at membership.citycast.fm/Chicago. And if you're already a neighbor, check your email. We've sent you an RSVP link. We're going to see you on June 4th. Well, unfortunately, for people who are trying to maybe drown a little bit of their sorrows after another Cubs ale, one of their beloved beers is no longer going to be available for them, Jill. It's been available for them damn near much longer than the curse has existed.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm talking about Schlitz. What's going on here?
R.I.P. to Schlitz. They brewed their last round of beer on Saturday up in Wisconsin. Schlitz has been around since 1849. It's 177 years. They were one of the first big breweries to make Chicago kind of their satellite home after the Great Chicago Fire. They built about 50 what are called tied houses, TIED, around the city. And those are places, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about as I describe them. They'll have the Schlitz logo built into the facade of the building. They'll have the Schlitz sign. And at the time that they were first built, the concept was that they were owned by the brewery and they only sold that brewery's products. And as the years go by, other bars move in. We've still got 11 total Schlitz tied houses in
At
Chicago.
the height, it might have been over 40.
Yeah, closer to 50. And those tied houses, some of them are still active bars. Some of them are residential. Some of them have like museum spaces or restaurants. But at least 2 different bars on the north side of the city got all nostalgic over the weekend and said goodbye to Schlitz in some very festive ways. Shuba's, the music venue on Southport, is one of those old tied houses. Their restaurant next door is actually called Tied House, and it's delicious, by the way. They had, a little going away party for their regulars and the bartenders and the owners. And a ton of people showed up, but I think maybe even more people showed up to Friends of Friends down in West Town on Grand Avenue. They were serving Schlitz for 86 cents a pint.
Oh, that's a real throwback.
At a Schlitz funeral, they said Schlitz is 86th. We're running out. This is the last go around, so 86 cents it is. And the line was wrapped down the block. I mean, it's Jacoby. Weren't you saying that this was your grandpa's? This was Pop's beer of joy.
Yeah, I called a few people as I was reading through. Oh, Carl. That man's name was Carl. And we call him Grandpa Carl whole life.
I was going to say, you just called him Carl? Like in Black America? No. Okay.
Yeah, Grandpa Carl. Man's name was Carl Hughes. But yeah, I called my mom this morning because in preparing to talk about this, I had these vague memories of it. And my great grandfather, Carl Hughes, God rest his soul. Growing up, he was just the surliest old man. He loved hard, just through like aggression and teaching you how to not be scared of his 16 Rottweilers. But he also taught you how to fish, how to make hot water cornbread. And the only person he really ever showed a smile to was my mother and my little sister. But in his icebox, he had these 2 drawers. One was always full of apple and cherry pies, and the other one was always full of Schlitz beer. My mom said he drank that her entire life, my entire life. He had a fridge dedicated to it on his enclosed back porch. Downstairs in his basement, he had his own tavern. And so he had all the memorabilia. He had the neon lights and the glasses. And it's funny, I FaceTime my mom and she had on this like tan and brown outfit. And she was like, the can looked just like the color of this shirt.
Aww.
And maybe it was a little more maroon than this brown, but it was just like that. The minute I said the name, she was just like, I was like, did anybody? I'm like, I'm having this memory. She was like, your Grandpa Carl. Every day he drank Schlitz and smoked Pall Mall unfiltered cigarettes. And I said, yep, that's where that memory comes from.
I can smell that description.
Yeah. I also reached
numbers.
Yeah. I also reached out to the host of CityCast Madison. And I was like, how big was it there? And she said, obviously, it was huge in Bruce City and Milwaukee. She said she was in Milwaukee recently, took pictures of some of the old signs, PBR and Hams, PBR, which owns it now. She said it was a little bigger in Madison, but she said she can't remember a time without seeing the glasses. And so, in reading these stories, it was also a soft reminder of some of the things that are either so ubiquitous or so omnipresent that even if you don't take it for granted or you don't notice it, it's been in the background of your life the entire time in Chicago. And, shout out to people who are going to keep it in memory in the various ways they can. And their small little museums and tavern glasses.
I mean, this was it's a very cool, crisp, easy drinking light lager. So it went over well with a lot of people. Even if you went to like a fancy beer bar, like I'm thinking Map Room or like how Quenchers used to be on Western and Fullerton, they'd have hundreds of beers from around the world. And still the first thing you'd see when you walk in the door is this big old Schlitz sign or I was looking up this story and I had a flashback to those Schlitz malt liquor
My
commercials.
mama said
in the
that my
70s.
uncle used to drink the 40 ounce out the bag. the blue bull.
Yeah, the theme song. I'm picturing like Richard Roundtree, ordering a Schlitz, and then an actual bull coming through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
No, I need to see this now. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's pretty iconic.
Schlitz malt liquor TV commercial, 1981 with Kool and the Gang.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's the Richard Roundtree. Here it is. Let me see. Jill, I literally just turned it on. The blaxploitation music is killing me. It's killing me. Jill, was this your go-to, or what was you grabbing?
My go-to back in the day when I could still handle gluten like that was Miller High Life. I would stroll into Estelle's after work, and before I even got to the end of the bar, there'd be a shot of Jameson and a bottle of High Life waiting for me.
Oh, the life.
And somehow I was still so thin. How on earth?
I dream for that relationship with my local bar, though, that I just come in after work and it's just a Modelo's just waiting for me.
Yeah, you got to be a norm someplace.
Yeah, where they know your name.
I'm slowly building it with the place around the corner, slowly but surely. All right, so as people are throwing funerals and morning Schlitz and people are slowly running out of their reserve, it got me thinking about other Chicago or Midwest brands that have gone the way of Schlitz that we still think about today.
So here in Chicago, for me, it's just Marshall Field's, the classic department store on State. Because I just imagine the grandeur of it, like back in the day when it was opened. And I don't know what that was like. To go. I've only seen it and it's like paled to Second Life, But I see the sign outside the door too. And that kind of cast iron gold. And I'm like, wow, looks so regal.
My grandma's more at my grandmother's home. My mom still has some of her like original Marshall Field and Carson Peary Scott boxes that she would just like recycle on Christmas because we would just like rip it open and take out whatever was in it. My grandma would just keep it and just give it back to us the next year. And I agree. Those boxes were so big. And I could just remember her like coming in like full face and like it was Sunday church, but she just went to Carson Peary's Garden Marshall.
Right. It was an event. Oh my gosh, it was an event. And then I also thought of Farmer Jack, which was the pop-in grocery store in Detroit until 2011. That's when it closed. But that was the grocery store I grew up going to most frequently. And sadly, like there's a huge food desert situation now in the D. But that was a great grocery store.
Started in 1924, grew to 100 locations by the 90s. Man, a couple of mine were grocery stores as well. I was thinking about White Hen Pantry.
Oh, the deli counter at White Hen sustained me all through like my first year of college.
There was one right around the corner.
Educate this new Chicagoan.
They were like everywhere.
Around. The one that I went to was on, I want to say, Wabash and Whackers.
Mine was on like 92nd or 3rd and Stony.
It was like a 7-Eleven, but they would make you sandwiches.
That was my first comp as well. I was going to ask you, is there a better one than 7-Eleven? But yeah, that's pretty much what I remember it as well.
Yeah.
Another one was Dominic's.
Oh, yeah.
And then Moo and Oink. Even though you could get like the branded Moo and Oink products, the commercials and the brick and mortar. Oh, Moo and Oink. That was my commercial. Trying to learn that theme song was like a rite of passage as a kid.
We got baby Sperry. I lived when I was very little. We lived by the one on like 71st and Stony. Okay. And while it is convenient to live right near Moo and Oink, in the summertime, if you are downwind of the Moo and Oink, it is a separate experience. That is a
what
lot
kind?
of. There's a lot of meat in those buildings.
Yeah.
Got it. Wow.
Just
a nasal flooding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot all about Moo and Oink.
Baby,
I was thinking about
roast beef, hot links, and more to give. Steak, hot dogs. Yeah.
And picture like a mascot, a pig and a cow, and a butcher pop locking in the freezer section.
Okay. They had way better logos back in the day. Are you kidding? Now everything is just like Arial font lowercase.
I love how this simultaneously just became a commercial and jingle redo. I'm going to post the Mooinoy commercial so you can see that too, Adora.
We miss the businesses having jingles. I think that's a takeaway you can make. Yeah.
I just saw an Empire commercial over the weekend. I was like, man, I wish when that little old man used to come out and just, he would flip the carpet and everybody's furniture would jump. I missed that.
I used to work with a guy that was in one of the Empire commercials, and he said it was one of the most surreal experiences was meeting that guy in real life because he's just in your TV. He should not be a real person. I'm like, that's like meeting Bozo the Clown. That's crazy.
Shout out to Leanne Haldren.
You guys remember Crocs and Brentanos, the bookstore? Okay, so like I'm picturing my childhood as a cavalcade of closed, defunct Chicago businesses, getting on the train with my mom to go buy string for my burgeoning friendship bracelet business at Goldblatt's or Woolworth's downtown, and then going to the bookstore, the Crocs and Brentanos bookstore that was on Wabash. Just this huge, like 2 or 3 story bookstore that you could just get lost in. And it was the 80s, so you could just like wander away from your parents. Everything would just be fine. And it was, downtown used to be so like, it was an adventure. It was like so special to go down there. And now none of these places really exist anymore. I mean, you still have to go downtown for stuff, but it doesn't feel as magical anymore.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
Too bad.
I mean, if you're listening and you got some of these places that came to mind, please let us know, 773-780-0246. Or if you also got old Grandpa Carl stories of handing him Schlitz when you were 6 years old and asking if you could have another apple pie, please share them with us. I want to give a huge thank you to our guest today, Adora Namigade. Thank you for making time.
Thank you.
And Jill Hopkins, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
If you made it to this point in the episode, please bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. There you can subscribe to our daily newsletter and you can check out our events calendar. Something you're going to only get on the podcast, of course, is some good news. We got a busy weekend coming up. I got some events for you that you can find on our calendar, like the 5th annual Windy City Hot Dog Fest in Portage Park, the Still Finally Over It tour with Summer Walker and Mauna Leo at the United Center tomorrow. Or you can head to Garfield Park for the Tool Library Repair Fair. We've got those events and more again at chicago.citycast.fm. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. I'll talk to you then. Peace.
He's going to present him with a jar of Jardiniya. And then he is going to have a press conference at American University. People are going to
eat you up. I'm sorry. It's Jardinera.
You better say Jardinera. I was going to say it, but I didn't want to cut you off.
Okay, look, I'm here to learn. And I am new to Chicago. So please correct me at any time.
Jardinera.
Jardinera.